What was it? Because he looked so disappointed. He goes, well, I got you a colonic. I said, a what? He goes, a colonic. I go, no, I heard you. What, why? What were you thinking? Like jewelry didn't cross your mind? And he looks me dead in the face. He goes, well, you said you were having trouble going. And if you think about it, a colonic is really like a day spa for your ass. Now, as true as that might be, that is truly the most shitty present you could ever give someone. Unbelievable. So I'm actually like getting ready to get back into my fighting weight, get back into shape, and the thing is like I don't know if it's just because I'm older and that I'm comfortable with who I am. I also know it depends on where I am, like how I should feel about myself. Like in New York City, like right now, I'm pleasantly plump. Right? When I go out to Los Angeles, I'm a beached whale. But here's the deal, y'all. When I go to the Midwest, I'm anorexic. And it is awesome. Seriously, if you're ever having a fat day, you buy yourself a one-way ticket to Kansas City. Because you will feel like a supermodel like that. I went to visit some friends from college. I got off the plane. They were like, oh my God, Kareth, you're wasting away to nothing. They actually had an intervention for me, y'all, a barbecue intervention. It was great. It's so insane. Only in this society do we get excited, like when we get sick, right? Because we're like, I could lose 5 to 7 pounds. In about 3 days doing absolutely nothing. I know I am not the only person in here who's that, right? If I get the flu on Tuesday, I'll be in my skinny jeans by Friday. But we are so obsessed with weight in this country. We really are. Like, because we have fat people. We got fat people. We got fat little kids. Do you know we now have fat pets? Like, fat little kids, I get it. Those little bastards can sneak food, okay? But fat pets, that's just wrong, okay? That's on us, right? And they have diet pet food. Now, the only reason I know this is I have a friend who has a cat that is 22.5 pounds. Exactly. If that did not make your mouth drop open, let me put it to you this way. That's 4 bags of sugar with paws. Now, the only reason we not weigh this much is because he had to take it to the vet because it was limping, right? Now, I am not a rocket scientist, but I did suggest that maybe it was limping because it was being crushed under its own weight. Turns out I was wrong. Somebody had actually shot it. I know, like really awful, horrible. It was like devastating. My friend was upset. Of course he was, as any of us would be. He was like, how could somebody do that? How could someone shoot my cat? I was like, sweetheart, at 22.5 pounds, somebody probably thought it was a fucking wildebeest. See, parenting is making more sensitive, right? I'm trying to be a good parent. I've started reading books. I actually came across this book called Toddlers Are Assholes. 2.5 years ago, I would have thought that was the most horrible woman on the face of the planet who wrote that. Now I'm like, this bitch knows what she's talking about. Teach me, sensei. Honest to God, I think if the government implemented toddlers, we could handle so much stuff, right? We want to take care of terrorism? You send a pack of toddlers over there with no snack, no nap, and tell them ISIS has their juice boxes. Obama's doing it all wrong, right? He wants to get stuff past Congress. All he has to do is get on the floor, rant, yell, say the same shit over and over again. Finally, somebody will call, like, the Secret Service or Michelle to come pick his ass up. All he has to do is put his arms up and do the noodle thing. Right? Oh, my God. I get it now. I understand why people drink before 4. There is no shame in that. Anybody who has children. Anybody. It's a lot like being single. Is anybody, like, you know, you remember being single, the parents, right? Do you ever remember, this is so horrible, but I think sneaking away from a baby is kind of like sneaking away from that one-night stand you sobered up with in the middle of the night, right? You gotta pop the nipple out of their mouth and, like, get out as quietly as you can. Really just me with a sordid past? Okay, people. Okay, you guys have been awesome. I'm Kareth Foster. Thank you.
Stay tuned for more laughs on Access TV. Live from the Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. Mark Ellis is taking the stage when we return.
Okay, let's keep this show moving. You've seen them on the YouTube channel, Smole No. Yeah. Let's hear from Mark Ellis.
New York City, let me hear you out there. Go crazy one time. This is such a great town. This is a good drinking town, which is why I love New York, because I live in LA now. LA is like the most worst drinking town you could possibly ask for. Because LA, it's way too spread out. You gotta drive everywhere. Like, if you hustle in LA, you can get 2-3 DUIs in a single night. If you really try, you win double points if it's the same cop pulling you over multiple times. And they're trying to curb it out there now. Like, they have all these ways to get home safe. You can still take a taxi. You can take an Uber. If you're 20, you need to score Molly. Lyft is the right one for you. Or they have a new service they just introduced in Southern California, and it's called Sober Scooter. Get ready to get creeped out. Listen to this. So let's say you're out drinking, right? You don't want to drive your car home, so you call Sober Scooter. That means somewhere else in town, there's a gaggle of dudes. And they all have a scooter. One of them gets the call, hops on his scooter, and rides his trusty steed out to the bar where you are. You give him your car keys. You guys walk out to your car. He puts you in the passenger side. Pops the trunk, puts his scooter in your trunk, gets in the driver's side and drives your drunk ass back to your own house in your own vehicle. And if you think that's a good idea, you've never been stabbed, because that's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. It's like, if you tip him, does he come in and read you a bedtime story? No thanks. I don't need that weirdo knowing where I live. You know what he does afterwards? He goes home to grandma's basement to put on the skin of whatever client he had last week. It's not a good business model. It's like, that's an adult that rides a scooter. Which means, by definition, he sucks at driving a car. You think I'm gonna let Vespa Gary upgrade to my Ford Fusion? Hell no. That's right, ladies, I said Ford Fusion, so get wet and take a number. It's gonna be a long night. I was excited when I got it. I bought the Ford, and it was last year, and I've never bought myself a new car, so I'm pumped. I get to the dealership. The very first thing the guy shows me in the car is he walks me out to it, and he pops the trunk. And he's like, hey, dude, check this out. Inside the trunk, there's a handle you can pull in case you get locked in your trunk. And I'm like, bro, that's gonna ruin my dating life. Are you serious right now? They can just free themselves anytime they think the evening's over? I don't think so, sweetie. I paid for that box of wine. Can you get back in there, please? Just move my scooter out of the way. There's plenty of room in there. That's how I met my girlfriend. I'm excited. I have a girlfriend now. She's funny, she's beautiful, she's nonfiction, which is awesome. And I had to make a move, because I'm getting to that point in my life when you look around and all your friends are starting to meet people and they get married, they have kids. Then you always have that one idiot friend that never got it together. This is what it looks like, right here. Michael Bublé after a bender. This is what it looks like. And it was becoming a problem in my family. Because in my family, there were 2 single people left. It was me and my mom. And that sucks, because my mom's out there. She's making an effort. She's trying new things. You haven't hit rock bottom till you bump into your mom on a dating website. I mean, it was bound to happen. She's a cougar. I'm a big game hunter. We're going to cross paths eventually. That's what I was always into, man. I was into older women. And now I'm dating a girl. She's 8 years younger than me. And you know what that means? Emojis. Lots and lots of emojis. And look, I don't mind if you put a smiley face in the text, but when your entire message is nothing but pictures, I don't have time to solve your little puzzle, kiddo. What do you want to say? You know what? Just pull that handle, get out of the trunk, and tell me exactly what you want to say. Now, older women, they know how to text. When older women send a text message, it's short, concise, to the point. It's like, come over, bring alcohol, get tested. They're serious about that. And what do you hear about older women, boys? What do you hear? You hear they're great in bed, right? And that's awesome. What worries me is, how did they get that good? Because you start thinking about it. You're like, wait. Nobody just wakes up the star of Cirque du Soleil. That takes years and years. It's intimidating. You hook up with a cougar, you go back to her place. And it feels like you're walking into old Yankee Stadium for the very first time. Because you're just thinking about all the greats that have played here before you. She's got jerseys retired in her living room. Sign above her bedroom door, it says, play like a champion today, and you gotta slap it. That's how I was gonna do it. I was gonna meet an older woman, we'd fall in love, spend the rest of our life, the rest of her life together. That's how you do it. Because with an older woman, you never have to have the kids conversation. Are we gonna have kids? Are we not gonna have kids? If they wanted to have kids, they already took care of that. That kid's a teenager, and I'll punch a teenager. If you're old enough to skateboard, you're old enough to get knocked off it, okay? I never wanted to be a parent because now you got to raise kids from birth. And you can't discipline kids the way you used to be able to. You can't. Like, if you try to spank kids today, they're going to tell on you. They're going to find an adult they trust, a teacher, a news crew. They're going to rat you out. When I was a kid, if you were the tattletale, that's why you got spanked in the first place. And I think my parents did it right, because when we were kids and we acted up, we got spanked. We got spanked. That's all that ever happened until the road trip. Remember the road trip with your